Welcome to Back Porch News. This is Reese with the view from my back porch. Well, the election is over and Kamala Harris failed to pull it off. Last I heard, she was kicking back on a beach, and good for her. Public life is hard, and she failed miserably, so rest and privacy would be pretty good for her. Regroup while she ponders how she spent $1.2 billion in 5 months. I mean, wow! Anyway, the FEC filings have come in, and we've learned some really interesting things. It turns out that Harris cut two checks for $250,000 each to Al Sharpton's National Action Network. That's a cool $500,000 to Sharpton's foundation prior to her sitting down for the softball interview on MSNBC. Now, Sharpton is a regular contributor to MSNBC, and he did not inform the network brass of the $500,000. And MSNBC started catching heat this week for the obvious pay-to-play. Fox reports MSNBC was unaware of the donations made to the National Action Network, an MSNBC spokesperson told the Washington Free Beacon, who first broke the story. I guess they refused to respond directly to Fox as well, who reported the Free Beacon also noted that the Society of Professional Journalists called the move a black eye, both on MSNBC and on journalism. Reporter Chuck Ross posted on X that MSNBC ignored inquiries related to the story until the Society of Professional Journalists spoke out. Now, there is no word on whether Sharpton will suffer any consequences for the egg on MSNBC's face. But this is not the only similar payola scandal for the Harris campaign. They dropped $350,000 for a podcast interview with Roland Martin and spent at least $500,000 on Oprah's Harpo Productions. But Fox reports that Harris insiders claim it was closer to $2.5 million. I have to say, it is more than a little strange that the sitting vice president had to pay for news coverage. I mean, she's the Veep. Everything she does should be news. And we all know the campaign was dropping bills on TikTok kids and influencers. This whole thing makes the campaign look super astroturfed, even more than I already assumed it was. Now, let's be fair. Advertising costs money, and campaigning is advertising. I remember in 2008, I was particularly galled that Barack Obama dropped a cool $1 million for one primetime hour-long special. But he was a junior senator from Chicago. Not a lot of name recognition. Harris has been the vice president for 4 years, after being a prominent and outspoken senator and presidential candidate. And it's crazy to think, but she really just didn't get much bang for her bucks. Anyway, that's the view from my back porch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll catch you next time on Back Porch News.